Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome to today's reading from Sri Chaitanya Lila. I should have said Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, verse number 151 from the 14th chapter. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripatamham vande Shri Gurum Deen Tarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tatsat. Madhya pragalba dhare dhiradi vibheda tar madhye sabar swabhave teen bheda. Both the intermediate and impudent heroines can be classified as sober, restless, and both sober and restless. All their characteristics can be further classified in three divisions. Verse 152. Keha prakhara, keha mridu, keha haya sama, swa swabhave krishnera, badaye prema sima. Some of these heroines are very talkative, some are mild, some are equipoised. Each heroine, according to her own character, increases Sri Krishna's loving ecstasy. Verse 153. Prakharya Mardava Samya Swabhava Nirdosha Sai Sai Swabhave Krishne Karaye Santosh. Although some of the gopis are talkative, some mild, and some equipoised, all of them are transcendental and faultless. They please Krishna by their unique characteristics. Verse 154. Ekatha Suniya Prabhura Ananda Apar Kahe Kahe Damodar Bale Bar Bar. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt unlimited happiness upon hearing these descriptions, and he again and again requested Swarup Damodar to continue speaking. Verse 155. Damodar kahe Krishna Rasika Shekhara Rasa Aswadaka Rasamay Kalevara. Damodar Goswami said, Krishna is the master of all transcendental mellows and the taster of all transcendental mellows, and his body is composed of transcendental bliss. Verse 156. Premamaya Vapu Krishna Bhakta Premadhana Shuddha Preme Rasa Gune Gopika Pravina. Krishna is full of ecstatic love and always subordinate to the love of his devotees. The gopis are very much experienced in pure love and in the dealings of transcendental mellows. Verse 157. Gopikar preme nahi rasa bhasa dosha atev krishnera kare param santosh. There is no flaw or adulteration in the love of the gopis, therefore they give Krishna the highest pleasure. Purport by His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Rasabhas occurs when one's relationship with Krishna is adulterated. Rasabhas. There are different types of rasabhas: first class, second class, and third class. The word rasa means mellow and abhas means a shadow. If one tastes one kind of mellow and something extra is imposed, that is uparasa. If something is derived from the original mellow, it is called anurasa. If something is appreciated that is far removed from the original mellow, it is called aparasa. Uparasa, anurasa, and aparasa are respectively first, second, and third class rasabhas, as stated in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu 4.9.1 to 2. Purvam evanu shishtena Vikala rasa lakshana rasa eva rasabhas rasa nanir anukirtitaha syas trido parasash janu rasash cha parasash cha te uttam madhyamah proktah kanishthas cheti ami kramat. Verse 158. Evam shashan kamshu virajita nisha sasatya kamo anurta bala ganah shishev atmani avaruddha Sauratah Sarvaha Sharat Kavya Katha Rasashrayah. Lord Shri Krishna, who is the absolute truth, enjoyed his rasa dance every night during the autumn season. He performed his dance in the moonlight, and with the full transcendental mellows, he used poetic words and surrounded himself with women who were very much attracted to him. Purport: this verse is quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.33.25. The gopis are all transcendental spirit souls. One should never think that gopis and Krishna have material bodies. Vṛndāvana Dham is also a spiritual abode, and there the days and nights, the trees, flowers and water and everything else is spiritual. There is not even a trace of material contamination. Krishna, who is the supreme Brahman and supersoul, is not at all interested in anything material. His activities with the gopis are all spiritual and take place within the spiritual world. They have nothing to do with the material world. Lord Krishna's lusty desires and all his dealings with the gopis are on the spiritual platform. One has to be transcendentally realized before even considering relishing the pastimes of Krishna with the gopis. One who is on the mundane platform must first purify himself by following the regulative principles. Only then can he try to understand Krishna and the gopis. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Swarup Damodar Goswami are here talking about the relationship between Krishna and the gopis. Therefore, the subject matter is neither mundane nor erotic. Being sannyasi, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very strict in his dealings with women. Unless the gopis were on the spiritual platform, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would have never even mentioned them to Swarup Damodar Goswami. Therefore, these descriptions do not at all pertain to material activity. Verse 159. Vama ek gopi gana dakshina ek gana nana bhave karaye Krishna rasa aswadana. The gopis can be divided into a left wing and a right wing. Both wings induce Krishna to taste transcendental mellows by various manifestations of ecstatic love. Verse 160. Gopi gana madhye shreshta radha thakurani nirmal ujjvala rasa prema ratna khani. Of all the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the chief. She is the jewel mine of ecstatic love and the source of all purified transcendental conjugal mellows. Verse 161. Vayase madhyama tenho swabhavete sama gadha prema bhave tenho nirantar vama. Radharani is grown up and her character is equipoised. She is always deeply absorbed in ecstatic love and always feeling in the mood of a left wing gopi. Purport: the left wing and the right wing of the gopis has been explained by Rupa Goswami in his Ujjwal Neelmani Sakhi Prakarana 26 and 32. The left wing is described in this way: Managrahe Sado Dyukta Tach Chaithiliye Chakopana Abhedya Nayake Prayah Krura Vameti Kirtyate. A gopi who is always eager to be jealously angered, who is very enthusiastic for that position, who immediately becomes angry when defeated, who is never under the control of a hero, and who always opposes him is called a Vama or a left-wing gopi. Srila Rupa Goswami describes the right-wing gopis in this way: Asahaya mana nirbandhe nayake yukta vadini sambhis tena bhedya cha dakshina parikirtita. A gopi who cannot tolerate womanly anger, who speaks suitable words to the hero, and who is satisfied by his sweet words is called a dakshina or a right-wing gopi. Verse 162. Vamya swabhave man uthe nirantara tara madhye uthe krishnera ananda sagara. Because she is a left-wing gopi, her womanly anger is always awakening, but Krishna derives transcendental bliss from her activities. Verse 163. Aher iva gatih premnah swabhav kutila bhavet ato hetur ahetoscha Yunor man danchati. The progress of loving affairs between a young boy and a young girl is by nature crooked, like the movement of a snake. Because of this, two types of anger arise between a young boy and a girl. Anger without a cause. Purport: this is a quotation from Srila Rupa Goswami's Ujjvala Neelmani, Shringar Bheda Prakarana 102. So moving on to next verse. It's not loading up. What happened here? Okay, verse 164. Eta shuni bade prabhura anand sagara kah kahe prabhu bale damodara. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard these talks, his ocean of transcendental bliss increased. He therefore told Swarup Damodar, go on speaking, and the Swarup Damodar continued. Verse number 165. Adhirudha Mahabhava Radhikar Prema Vishuddha Nirmala Yaiche Dasha Vana Hema. Srimati Radharani's love is a highly advanced ecstasy. All her dealings are completely pure and devoid of material tinge. Indeed, her dealings are 10 times purer than gold. Verse 166. Krishnera darshana yadi paye achambite nana bhava vibhushane haya vibhushite. As soon as Radharani gets a chance to see Krishna, her body is suddenly decorated with various ecstatic ornaments. Verse 167. Ashta Satvika Harshadi Vyabhichari Yandra Sahaja Prema Vimshati Bhav Alankar. The transcendental ornaments of Srimati Radharani's body include the 8 Sattvic or transcendental symptoms, the 35 Vyabhichari Bhavas, beginning with Harsh or jubilation in natural love, and the 20 Bhavas or ecstatic emotional ornaments. Purport: the 33 Vyabhichari Bhavas, bodily symptoms manifest in ecstatic love, are as follows. First is Nirved, indifference. Second is Vishad, moroseness. Third is Dainya, meekness. Fourth, Glani, a feeling that one is in a faulty position. Fifth, Shrama, fatigue. 6, Mada, madness. 7, Garva, pride. 8, Shanka, doubt. 9, Trasa, shock. 10th, Aveg, intense emotion. 11th, Unmad, craziness. 12th, Apasmar, forgetfulness. 13th, Vyadhi, disease. 14th, Moh, bewilderment. 15th, Mriti, death. 16th, Alasya, laziness. 17th, Jadya, invalidity. 18th, Vrida, shame. 19th, Avahitha, concealment. 20th, Smriti, remembrance. 21st, Vitarka, argument. 22nd, Chinta, contemplation. 23rd, Mati, attention. 24th, Dhriti, forbearance. 25th, Harsha, jubilation. 26th, Otsukya, eagerness. 27th, Agrya, violence. 28th, Amarsha, anger. 29th, Asuya, jealousy. 30th is Chapalya, impudence. 31st is Nidra, sleep. 32nd is Supti, deep sleep. And lastly, 33rd, Prabodha, which is awakening. Verse number 168. Kila kinchita kutamita vilasa lalita vivoka muttayita ara mukdhya chakita. Some of the symptoms critically explained in the following verses are Kila kinchita kutamita vilasa vilalita vivoka muttayita mugdhya and chakita. Verse 169. When Srimati Radharani's body manifests the ornaments of many ecstatic symptoms, the ocean of Krishna's happiness immediately displays transcendental waves. Verse 170. किला किंचितादि भावेर शुना विवर्ण ये भाव भूषसाय Radha Hare Krishna Mana. Now here a description of different ecstasies beginning with Kila Kinchita. With these ecstatic ornaments, Srimati Radharani enchants the mind of Krishna. Verse 171. Radha dekhi Krishna yadi chunite kare mana dan ghati pathe yave varjena gamana. When Sri Krishna sees Srimati Radharani and wants to touch her body, he prohibits her from going to the spot where one can cross the river Yamuna. Verse 171. Radha dekhi Krishna yadi chunite karamana. Sorry, that's the same one. Verse number 172. Yabe asi mana kare pushpa uthaite sakhi age chahe yadi gaye हाथ दीते. Approaching her, Krishna prohibits Srimati Radharani from picking flowers. He may also touch her in front of her friends. 173. Verse E sabha sthane kila kinchita udgama prathame harsha sanchari moola karana. At such times, the ecstatic symptoms of kila kinchita are awakened. First, there is jubilation in ecstatic love. Which is the root cause of these symptoms. Whenever Srimati Radharani leaves her house, she is always well dressed and attractive. It is her womanly nature to attract Sri Krishna's attention, and upon seeing her so attractively dressed, Sri Krishna desires to touch her body. The Lord then finds some fault in her and prohibits her from going to a river, crossing, and stops her from picking flowers. Such are the pastimes between Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna. Being a cowherd girl, Srimati Radharani regularly carries milk in a container and often goes to sell the milk on the other side of the Yamuna. To cross the river, she has to pay the boatman, and the spot where the boatman collects his fares is called the Dan Ghati. Lord Sri Krishna stops her from going, telling her, first you have to pay the fee, then you will be allowed to. This pastime is called Dan Ghati Lila. Similarly, Srimati Radharani wants to pick a flower. Sri Krishna claims to be the gardener's proprietor and prohibits her. This pastime is called Kila Kinchita. Radharani's shyness arises due to Krishna's prohibitions, and ecstatic loving bodily symptoms called Kila Kinchita Bhav are manifest at this time. These ecstatic symptoms are explained in the following verse, which is from Srila Rupa Goswami's Ujjwal Neelmani, Anubhav Prakarana 39. Verse 174. Garva Bhilasha Rudita Smita Suya Bhaya Krudham Sankari Karanam Harshad Uchyate Kila Kinchitam. Pride, ambition, weeping, smiling, envy, fear, and anger are the 7 ecstatic loving symptoms manifested by a jubilant shrinking away, and these symptoms are called Kila Kinchit Bhav. Verse 175. Ar Sat Bhav Asi Sahaje Milaya Ashta Bhav Sammilane Mahabhav Haya. There are 7 other transcendental ecstatic symptoms, and when they combine on the platform of jubilation, the combination is called Mahabhav. Verse 176. Garva Bhilash Bhaya Shushka Rudita Krodha Asuya Haya Ar Manda Smita. The 7 combined ingredients of Mahabhav are pride, ambition, fear, dry, artificial crying, anger, envy, and mild smiling. Verse 177. Nana Swadu Ashtabhav Ekatra Milanam Yahar Aswade Tripta Haya Krishna Mana. There are 8 symptoms of ecstatic love on the platform of transcendental love, and they are combined and tasted by Krishna. The Lord's mind is completely satisfied. Verse 178. Dadhi Khanda Grita Madhu Maricha Karpura ilaichi milne yaiche rasala madhura. Indeed, they are compared in combination of yogurt, candy, ghee, honey, black pepper, camphor, and cardamom, which, when mixed together, are very tasty and sweet. Verse 179. E bhava yukta dekhi. Yukta dekhi radhasya naina. Okay. E bhava yukta dekhi radhasya naina sangama haite sukha paye koti guna. Lord Shri Krishna is thousands upon thousands of times more satisfied when he sees Srimati Radharani's face light up from this combination of ecstatic love than he is by direct union with her. Purport: this is further explained in the following verse from Ujjwala Nilmani Anubhava Prakarana of Srila Rupa Goswami. Verse 180. Antaha smretayo ujjwala jalakana vyakirna pakshamanakura kinchit patli tanchala rasika tosika puraha kunchati rudhaya pathi madhavena madhura vyabhugna torottara radhaya kila kinchitas tvakini drishtya shriyam vah kriyat. May the sight of Srimati Radharani's Kila Kinchit ecstasy, which is like a bouquet, bring good fortune to all. When Sri Krishna blocked Radharani's way to go to the Dhanagati, there was laughter within her heart. Her eyes grew bright and fresh tears flowed from her eyes, reddening them. Due to her sweet relationship with Krishna, her eyes were enthusiastic and her crying subsided. She appeared even more beautiful. Verse 181. Bashpa vyakulitaruna chalan netram rasol lasitam helo lasa chaladharam. Okay. Where we read this again. Bashpa vyakulitar arunachala chalan netram rasolasitam helolas chaladharam kutilita bhru yugman udyat smitan radhayah kila kinchitanchitam asau vikshyanam Radhaya kila kinchita kinchitam asau vikshyananam sangamad anandam tam avapu koti gunitam yobhunna giroshara. Agitated by tears, Srimati Radharani's eyes were tinged with red, just like the eastern horizon by its sunrise. Her lips began to move with jubilation and lusty desires. Her eyes curved and her lotus-like face smiled mildly. Seeing this, Radharani's face exhibit such emotion, Lord Shri Krishna felt that where was I? Were tinged with red, just like the eastern horizon at sunrise. Her lips began to move with jubilation and lusty desire. Her eyebrows curved and her lotus-like face smiled mildly. Seeing Radharani's face exhibit such emotion, Sri Krishna felt a million times happier than when he embraced her. Indeed, Sri Krishna's happiness is not at all mundane. Purport. This is a quotation from Govinda Lilamrita. Okay, let's do this again. Agitated by tears, Srimati Radharani's eyes were tinged with red, just like the eastern horizon at sunrise. Her lips began to move with jubilation and lusty desire. Her eyebrows curved, and a lotus-like face smiled mildly. Seeing Radharani's face exhibit such a emotion, Sri Krishna felt a million times happier than when he embraced her. Indeed, Sri Krishna's happiness is not at all mundane. Purport. This is a quotation from Govinda Lilamrit 9.18, verse 182. Eta shuni prabhu haila anandita mana sukha vishta hena swarupe kaila alingana. Upon hearing this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very happy, and being absorbed in this happiness, he embraced Swarup Damodar Goswami. Verse 183. Vilasadi bhav bhushar कहते लक्षण यही भावे राधा हरे गोविंदेरा mana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then asked Swarup Damodar, please speak of the ecstatic ornaments decorating the body of Srimati Radharani by which she enchants the mind of Sri Govinda. Verse 184. Tabeta Swarupa Gosani kahite lagila shuni prabhura bhakta gana mahasukha paila. Thus being thus requested, Swarup Damodar began to speak. All the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were very happy to hear him. Verse 185. Radha vasi ache kiba Vṛndāvane yaye tahan yadi achambite Krishna darshan paye. Sometimes when Srimati Radharani is sitting or when she is going to Vrindavan, she sees Krishna. Verse 186. Dekhite nana bhav haya vilakshana se vilakshanera nam vilas bhushana. The symptoms of various ecstasies that become manifest at that time are called vilas. Purport. This is described in the following verse taken from the Ujjvala Neelmani. Anubhava Prakarana 39. Verse 187. Gati sthanasnadinam mukha netradi karmanam tatkalikam tu vashishyam vilasah priya sanga jam. The various symptoms manifested in a woman's face, eyes, and other parts of her body, and the way she moves, stands, or sits when she meets her beloved are called vilas. Verse 188. Lajja harsha abhilasha sambhrama vamya bhaya eta bhava mili radhaye chanchala karaya. Swarup Damodar said, timidity, jubilation, ambition, respect, fear, and the characteristics of the left-wing gopis are all ecstatic symptoms that combine to agitate Srimati Radharani. This is explained in the following verse, which is found in the Govind Lilamrita 9.11, verse 189. Pura Krishna lokat sthagit kutilasya gatir abhut tiraschinam Krishnam bardar Vritam Shri Mukham api chalat taram sfaram nayana yugam abhugnam iti sa vilasakhya swalankarana valita sit priya mude. When Srimati Radharani saw Lord Krishna just before her, her progress stopped and she assumed an attitude of opposition. Although her face was slightly covered by blue garment, her two starry eyes were agitated, being wide and curved. Thus she was decorated with the ornaments of Vilas, and her beauty increased to give pleasure to Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Verse 190. Krishna aage Radha yadi rahe dana tina anga bhange rahe bhru nachana. When Srimati Radharani stands before Krishna, she stands bent in three places: her neck, waist and legs, and her eyebrows dance. Verse 191. Mukhe netre haya nana bhavera udgar ekanta bhavera nam lalita alankar. When there is awakening of the various ecstatic features on Srimati Radharani's face and her eyes that are appropriate to a charming feminine attitude, the Lalita ornament is manifest. So let's read the translation again. When the bodily features are delicate and expertly curved, when the eyebrows are very beautifully agitated, the ornaments of feminine charm called Lalita Ankar is manifest. This purport is from a verse from the Ujjwal Nilmani Anubhava Prakarma. Purport, this verse is from Ujjwal Nilmani Anubhava Prakarana number 51. Verse 193. Lalita Bhushita Radha dekhe yadi Krishna dunhe dunha milibare haina satrishna. When Lord Shri Krishna happens to see Srimati Radharani decorated with these Lalita ornaments, they both eagerly want to meet each other. Verse 194. Hriya Tiryag Griva Charana Kati Bhangis Sumadhura Chalach Chili Vali Dalita Ratina Thorjita Dhanu Peya Prema Laso Lasita Lalita 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 Tanuhu Priya Prityai Sasid Udita Lalita Lankriti Maya Yuta, sorry. When Srimati Radharani was decorated with the ornament of Lalita Alankars, just like to increase Sri Krishna's love, an attractive curve was manifest in her neck, knees and waist. This was brought about by her timidity and apparent desire to avoid Krishna. The flickering movements of her eyebrows and could conquer the powerful bow of Cupid. To increase the joy of her beloved, her body was decorated with ornaments of Lalita Alankar. Purport, this verse is quoted from the Govinda Lilamrit 9.14. Verse 195. Lobhe asi Krishna kare kanchu ka karshana antare ullase Radha kare nivarana. When Krishna comes forward and greedily snatches at the border of her sari, Srimati Radharani is actually very pleased, but she still tries to stop him. Verse 196. Bahire vamata krodha bhitare sukha mane kuttamita namae. Okay, this ecstatic attitude of Srimati Radharani is called Kuttamita. When the ecstatic ornaments is manifested, Radharani externally tries to avoid Krishna and she apparently becomes angry, although she is very happy within. This attitude is Kuttamita. Verse 197. Stanadharadi grihane ritva pritav api sambhramat Bahi krodha vyatitavat proktam kuttam. Okay. स्तनाधारादि ग्रहणे ऋत प्रीताव अपि संभ्रमात् बहिः क्रोधो व्यथितवत् प्रोक्तं कुट्टामितं बुधै. When the border of her sarin cloth is veiling and the cloth veiling her face are caught, she externally appears offended and angry, but within her heart she is very happy. Learned scholar call this attitude Kuttamita. This attitude is scholars call this attitude Kuttamita. Purport, this is quotation again from Ujjwal Neelmani, Anubhav Prakarana, number 44. Verse number 198, sorry. Krishna Vancha Purna Haya Kare Pani Virodha Antare Ananda Radha Bahire Vamya Krodha. Although Srimati Radharani was checking Krishna with her hand, internally she was thinking, let Krishna satisfy his desires. In this way she was very pleased within, although she externally displayed opposition and anger. Verse 199, Vyatha Pana Kare Yena Shushka Rodana Ishat Asya Krishna Karina Bhartsana. Bhartsana is admonition. Translation of this verse, Srimati Radharani externally displays a kind of drying cry as if she is offended, then she mildly smiles and admonishes Lord Krishna. Verse 200, Pani Rodham Avirodhita Vansham Bhartasanash Cha Madhurasmita Garbha Madhavasya Kurute Karbharor Hari Shushka Rudit Bhartsanash Madhurasmita Garbhash Madhavasya Kurute Karbharur Hari Shushka Ruditam Cha Mukhepi. Actually, she has no desire to stop Krishna's endeavor to touch her body with hands, yet Srimati Radharani, whose thighs are like the trunk of a baby elephant, protests this, advances, and sweetly smilingly admonishes him. At such time, she cries without tears as her charming face. In this way, Srimati Radharani is ornamented and decorated with various ecstatic symptoms which attract the mind of Krishna. This verse was verse 201. Emata arsabha bhava vibhushana yahate vibhushita radha Hare Krishna mana. Verse 202. Ananta Krishnera lila na yaye varnana apane varnena yadi sahasra vadana. It is not possible to describe the unlimited pastimes of Sri Krishna, even though he himself describes them in his incarnation of Sahasravadan, the thousand-mouthed Sheshnag. Verse 203, Shrivasa Hasya Kahe Shuna Damodara Amar Lakshmira Dekha Sampati Vistara. At this time, Shivas Thakur smiled and told Swarup Damodar, my dear sir, please hear, just see how opulent my goddess of fortune is. Verse 204, Vṛndāvanera Sampad Dekha Pushpa Kislay Giridhatu Shiki Picha Gunjafala Maya. So Kislay means twigs. As far as Vrindavan's opulence is concerned, it consists of a few flowers and twigs, some minerals from the hills, a few peacock feathers, and the plant known as gunja. Verse 205 Vṛndāvana dekhibare gela Jagannath Shuni Lakshmi Devira Mane Haila Asoyat. Asoyat is envy. When Jagannath decided to see Vrindavan, he went there, and upon hearing this, the goddess of fortune experienced restlessness and jealousy. Verse 206 Eta Sampati Chadi Kene Gela Vrindavan Tanre Hasya Karite Lakshmi Karila Sajana. She wondered, why did Lord Jagannath give up so much opulence and go to Vrindavan to make him a laughing stock? The goddess of fortune made arrangements for much decoration. Verse 207 Tomar Thakur Dekha Eta Sampati Chadi Patra Phala Phula Lobhe Gela Pushpa Bari. When the maidservants of the goddess of fortune said to the servants of Lord Jagannath, why did your Lord Jagannath abandon the great opulence of the goddess of fortune and for the sake of a few leaves, fruits and flowers go see the flower garden of Srimati Radharani? Verse 208 E karma kare kahan vidgadha shiromani Lakshmira agrete nijya prabhure deha ani. Your master is so expert at everything, but why does he do such things? No, now bring your master before the goddess of fortune. Verse 209 Eta bali maha Lakshmira sabadasi gane kati vastre bandhi ane prabhura nij gane. In this way, all the maidservants of the goddess of fortune arrested the servants of Jagannath, bound them round their waist, and brought them In this way, all the maidservants of goddess of fortune arrested the servants of Jagannath, bound them around the waist, and brought them before the goddess of fortune. Verse 210 Lakshmir charane ani karai pranati dhana danda lai ar karai minati. When all the maidservants brought Lord Jagannath's servants before the lotus of the goddess of fortune, the Lord's servants were fined and forced to submit. Verse 211 Rathera upare kare dandera tadana chora praya kare Jagannathera sevaka gana. All the maidservants began to beat the Rathakar with sticks, and they treated the servants of Lord Jagannath almost like thieves. Verse 212 Sababhritya gana kahe yoda kari hat Kali ani diba tomar age Jagannath. Finally, all Lord Jagannath's servants submitted to the goddess of fortune with folded hands, assuring her that they would bring Lord Jagannath before her the very next day. Verse 213 Taba shant hena Lakshmi yae nijghara amar Lakshmira sampad vakya agochara. Being thus pacified, the goddess of fortune returned to her apartment. Just see, my goddess of fortune is opulent beyond all description. Verse 214 Dukda auti dadhi mathe tomar gopi gane amar Thakurani vaise ratna simhasane. Shiva's Thakur continued to address Sarup Damodar, your gopis are engaged in boiling milk and churning yogurt, but my mistress, the goddess of fortune, sits on a throne made of jewels and gems. Verse 215 Narad Prakriti Shivas Kare Parihas Shuni Hase Mahaprabhura Yat Nijadas. Shiva's Thakur, who was enjoying the mood of Narad Muni, thus made jokes. Hearing him, all the personal servants of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to smile. Verse 216 Prabhu kahe Shrivas tomate Narad Swabhave Aishwarya Bhave tomate Ishwar Prabhav. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then told Srivas Thakur, my dear Srivas, your nature is exactly like that of Narad Muni. The Supreme Personality of Godhead's opulence is having a direct influence upon you. Verse 217 Inho Damodar Swarupa Shuddha Vrajavasi Aishwarya na jane inho Shuddha Preme Bhasi. Swarup Damodar is a pure devotee of Vrindavan. He does not even know what opulence is, for he is simply absorbed in pure devotional service. Verse 218. Swarup Kahe Shrivas Shune Savadhane Vrindavan Sampat Tumar Nahi Pade Mane. Swarup Damodar then retorted, "My dear Shrivas, please hear me with attention. You have forgotten the transcendental opulence of Vrindavan." Verse 219. Vrindavane Sahajikas Ye Sampat Sindhu Dwarka Vaikunta Sampat Tar Ek Bindu. The natural opulence of Vrindavan is just like an ocean. The opulence of Dwarka and Vaikunta is not even to be compared to a drop. Verse 220. Param Purushottam Swayam Bhagavan Krishna Yahan Dhani Tahan Vrindavan Dham. Sri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, full of all opulences, and his complete opulences are exhibited only in Vrindavan Dham. Verse 221. Chintamani Mae Bhumi Ratnera Bhavana Chintamani Ganadasi Charana Bhushana. Vrindavan Dham is made of transcendental touchstone. Its entire surface is the source of all valuable jewels, and the Chintamani stone is used to decorate the lotus feet of the maidservants of Vrindavan. Verse 222. Kalpavriksha Latar Yahan Sahajika Vana Pushpa Phala Vina Keha Namage Anyadhana. Vrindavan is a natural forest of desired trees and creepers, and the inhabitants do not want anything but the fruits and flowers of those desired trees. Verse 223. Ananta Kam Dhenu Tahan Phire Vane Vane Dugdha Matra Dena Keha Namage Anyadhane. In Vrindavan there are cows that fulfill all desires, that is the Kamadhenu cows, and their number is unlimited. They graze from forest to forest and deliver only milk. The people want nothing else. Verse 224. Sahaj Lokera Katha Yahan Divya Gita Sahaj Gamana Kare Yaiche Nritya Pratit. In Vrindavan, the natural speech of the people sounds like music, and the natural motion resembles a dance. Verse 225. Sarvatra Jala Yahan Amrita Saman Chidananda Jyoti Swadya Yahan Murtiman. The water in Vrindavan is nectar, and the Brahma Jyoti effulgence, which is full of transcendental bliss, is directly perceived there in its form. Verse 226. Lakshmi Jini Guna Yahan Lakshmira Samaj Krishna Vamshi Kare Yahan Priya Sakhi Kai. The gopis there are also goddess of fortune, and they surpass the goddess of fortune who abides in Vaikunta. In Vrindavan, Lord Krishna is always playing his transcendental flute, which is his dear companion. Verse 227. Shriha Kantaha Kantaha Parama Purushaha Kalpa Taravo Dhruma Bhumish Chintamani Ganamayi Toyam Amritam Katha Ganam Natyam Gamanam Api Vamshi Priya Sakhi Chid Anandam Jyoti Param Api Tad Aswadyam Api Cha. The damsels of Vrindavan, the gopis, are super goddesses of fortune. They the enjoyer in the Vrindavan, in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna, the trees there are all wish-fulfilling trees, and the land is made up of transcendental touchstone. The water is all nectar, the talking is singing, the walking is dancing, and the constant companion of Krishna is his flute. The effulgence of transcendental bliss is experienced everywhere. Therefore, Vrindavan Dham is the only relishable abode. Purport: this is a quotation from the Brahma Samhita 5.56, verse 228. Chintamani's Charan Bhushanam Angananam Shringara Pushpa Taravas Taravaha Suranam Vrindavane Vraje Dhanam Nanu Kam Dhenu Vrindani Cheti Sukha Sindur Aho Vibhutihi. The ankles on the damsels of Rajabhumi are made of Chintamani stone. The trees are wish-fulfilling trees, and they produce flowers which the gopis decorate themselves. They are also wish-fulfilling cows, kamadhenus, which deliver unlimited quantities of milk. These cows constitute the wealth of Vṛndāvana. Thus, Vṛndāvana's opulence is blissfully exhibited. Purport: this verse is by Bilu Mangal Thakur, is quoted in the Bhakti Las Samrita Sindhu 2.1.73. Okay. Verse 2 to 9. Shuni prema vese nritya kare Srinivas, kaksha tali bajaye kare atta atta has. Srivas Thakur then began to dance in ecstatic love. He vibrated sounds by slapping his armpits with the palms of his hands, and he laughed very loudly. Verse 230. Radhar Shuddha Rasa Prabhu Avesh Shunila Sai Rasa Veshe Prabhu Nritya Arambhila. Thus Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard these discussions about the pure transcendental mellow of Srimati Radharani. Absorbed in transcendental ecstasy, the Lord began to dance. Verse 231. Rasa Veshe Prabhura Nritya Swarupera Gana Bala Bala Bali Prabhu Pate Nija Kana. While Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing in ecstatic love and Swarup Damodar was singing, the Lord said, "Go on singing, go on singing." The Lord then extended his own ears. Verse 232. Vraja Rasa Geet Shuni Prema Utha Lila Purushottam Gram Prabhu Preme Bhasa Lila Bhasaila. Thus, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstatic love was awakened by hearing the songs of Vrindavan. In this way, he inundated Purushottam Jagannath Puri with love of Godhead. Verse 233. Lakshmi Devi Yatha Kale Gela Nija Ghara Prabhu Nritya Kare Haila Tritiya Prahara. Finally, the goddess of fortune returned to her apartment in due course of time. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing, afternoon arrived. Verse 234. Chari Sampadaye Gana Kari Bahu Shrant Haila Mahaprabhura Premavesha Dviguna Badila. After much singing, all four Sankirtan parties grew fatigued, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstatic love increased twofold. Verse 235. Radha Prema Veshe Prabhu Haila Se Murti Nityananda Dure Dekhi Karilena Stuti. While dancing, absorbed in Srimati Radharani's ecstatic love, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in her very form. Seeing this from a distant place, Nityananda Prabhu offered prayers. Verse 236. Nityananda Dekhiya Prabhura Bhavavesh Nikate Na Aise Rahe Kichu Dura Desh. Seeing the ecstatic love of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu did not approach but remained a little distance away. Verse 237. Nityananda Vina Prabhu ke dhare kaun jana Prabhura avesh na yaye na rahe kirtana. Only Nityananda Prabhu could catch Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but the ecstatic mood of the Lord would not stop. At the same time, kirtan could not be continued. Verse 238. Bhangi kari swarupa sabara shrama janaila bhakta ganena shrama dekhi prabhura bahya haila. Swarup Damodar then informed the Lord that all the devotees were fatigued. Seeing this, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to his external senses. Verse 239. Sab bhakta lena prabhu gela pushpodayane Pushpodhyane Vishram Kariya Kaila Madhyanika Snane. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then entered the flower garden with all his devotees. After resting there for some time, he took his afternoon bath. Verse 240. Jagannathera Prasad Aila Bahu Upahar Lakshmira Prasad Aila Vividha Prakar. Then there arrived in large quantities a variety of food that had been offered to Sri Jagannath and a variety that had been offered to the goddess of fortune. Verse 241. Sabha lena nana range karila bhojana sandhya snane kari kaila Jagannath darshana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu finished his afternoon lunch, and after his evening bath he went to see Lord Jagannath. Verse 242. Jagannath dekhi karena nartan kirtana narendre jala krida kare Lena Bhakta Gana. As soon as he saw Lord Jagannath, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to chant and dance. Afterwards, accompanied by his devotees, the Lord enjoyed sporting in the lake called Narendra Sarovar. Verse 243, Udyane Asiya Kaila Vanabhojana Eimata Krida Kaila Prabhu Ashtadina. Then entering the flower garden, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took his meal. In this way, he continuously performed all kinds of pastimes for 8 days. Verse 244, Aradine Jagannathera Bhitara Vijaya Rathe Chadi Jagannath Chale Nijalaya. The next day, Lord Jagannath came out from the temple and riding on the car returned to his own abode. Verse 245, Purvat Kaila Prabhu Lena Bhakta Gana Param Anande Karena Nartan Kirtan. As previously, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees chanted and danced with great pleasure. Verse 246, Jagannathera Punah Pandu Vijaya Haila Ek Guti Patta Dori Tanha Tuti Gela. During the Pandu Vijaya, Lord Jagannath was carried, and while he was being carried, a bunch of silken ropes broke. Verse 247, Pandu Vijayera Tuli Phati Phuti Yae Jagannathera Bhare Tula Uriya Palai. When the Jagannath deity is carried at intervals, he is placed on the cotton pads. When the ropes broke, the cotton pads also broke down due to the weight of Lord Jagannath, and the cotton floated into the air. Verse 249. Was it verse 248? Kulin Grami Ramananda Satyaraj Khan Tanre Ajna Dila Prabhu Kariya Samman. Ramanand Vasu and Satyaraj Khan were present from the Kulin Gram, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with great respect gave them the following orders. Verse 249, Ei Patta Dorira Tumi Hau Yajmana Prati Vatsara Anibe Dori Kariya Nirman. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered Ramananda Vasu and Satyaraj Khan to become the worshippers of these ropes and every year bring silken ropes from their village. Purport: it is understood that a silken rope was being manufactured by the local inhabitants of Kulin Gram. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Ramananda Vasu and Satyaraj Khan to get ropes every year for Lord Jagannath's service. Verse 250, Eta Bali Dila Tanre Chinda Pattadori Iha Dekhi Karibe Dori Ati Drida Kari. After telling them this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed them the broken silken ropes, saying, Just look at this sample. You must make ropes that are much stronger. Okay, verse 251. E Patadorite Haya Shesha Adhisthana Dasha Murti Hena Yenho Seve Bhagwan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then informed Ramananda Vasu and Satyaraj Khan that this rope was the abode of Lord Shesha, who expands himself into 10 forms and serves the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport: for description of Sheshnag, refer to Adi Lila 5.123 and verse 124. Verse 252, Bhagyavan Satyaraj Vasu Ramananda Seva Ajna Pana Bhaila Parama Ananda. After receiving orders from the Lord of the rendering of service, the fortunate Satyaraj and Ramananda Vasu were highly pleased. Verse 253, Prati Vatsara Gundichate Bhakta Gana Sanghe Pattadori Lena Aise Ati Bada Range. Every year thereafter, the Gundicha temple was being cleansed. Satyaraj and Ramanand Vasu would come with the other devotees and with great pleasure bring silken robes. Verse 254, तबे जगन्नाथ याई वसिला सिंहासने, Mahaprabhu घरे आइला लेना भक्तगणे. Thus Lord Jagannath returned to his temple and sat on his throne while Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to his residence with his devotees. Verse 255. Eimata Bhaktagane Yatra Dekhaila, Bhaktagana Lena Vṛndāvana ke Likaila. Thus Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed the Rath Yatra ceremony to his devotees and performed the Vṛndāvana pastimes with them. Verse 256. Chaitanya Gosanira Lila Ananta Apar, Sahasra Vadana Yar Nahi Paye Par. The pastimes of Lord Chaitanya are unlimited and endless. Even Sahasravadan Lord Shesha cannot reach the limits of his pastime. Verse 257. Shri Rupa Raghunath Pade Yar Ash Chaitanya Charitamrit Kahe Krishna Das. Praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishna Das, narrate Shri Chaitanya Charitamrit following in their footsteps. Purport. This ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of 2 Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 14th chapter, describing the performance of the Vrindavan pastimes and the Hera Panchami Yatra. So it was a bit longish reading, but worth every moment. Thank you for joining. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna.